Is it recording? Is it live or what? You sure?
Yeah, now it is.
I don't have anything. You got it? You got it. Why is it? I gotta like go out and come back in or what?
I think you gotta refresh it.
Well, I can't refresh it because it's on the app, so I gotta.
Yeah.
All right, there we go. Yeah. I can't refresh it because it's on the app, so I gotta. Give us a minute. Majed is not here today, so we're kind of like. Give us a minute. Majed is not here today, so we're kind of. We got everybody got to shut the sound off because the problem is all these sounds. It sounds like a police radar, like a police. You know the thing, the whatever you call that thing. I gotta share this with somebody first, and then we get going, inshallah. And by the way, for everybody that's listening, no, we're not in the middle of a war zone. It's July 4th, and these kuffar are celebrating they don't even know what they're celebrating. They're just out there shooting off fireworks. I was joking with the kids today, man. I said, man, most of these kuffar, if you go around and ask them, what is July 4th? What is it? They won't even know. And then they say, let's say that they do actually answer. And they say, oh, this is the day that America got its independence. I'm like, okay, what year did they get the independence? 1960. That's when. So yeah, man, a long time. So there's gonna be a lot of noise throughout this live stream. But this right now, first off, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, walhamdulillahi rabbil alameen, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillahi wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in wa ba'd. So this right now, we're not going to take the class today because Mujahid's not here. So what we're going to do is just deal with an issue that a sister sent. And it's not just sister sent it, brother sent it. Like a lot of, this is a common problem that just keeps, coming up and getting sent about, the brothers and the sisters, they're trying to, practice Islam and trying to dress appropriately according to the Quran and the Sunnah. And then the family members or friends and other people, they want to laugh at them and joke with them and make a mockery of them. Now, see, if the kuffar, as far as what the kuffar do, the kuffar are going to do that. That's not my concern. I mean, the kuffar, halas. But the issue is like when you have other Muslims and they fall into this laughing and joking and calling names and all this type of stuff with another Muslim because maybe he wants to have a beard. Maybe he wants to put on a throw. So then they say, oh, look at him now. He's dressed like a terrorist. Oh, look at you, Mr. Taliban. Oh, you Wahhabi. And, they want to have all these names. So, inshallah, this is just going to be today. You might have to listen to it. Watch out not to cut off the live stream. We're gonna have to go back and find out when the sound cut off.
Says sound is Iron Mark says sound is back. His profile pic is a picture of a chipmunk.
What was the last thing that you heard before the thing went out? So I know how much I need to go back over. It just keeps, coming up and getting the people the Muslim name. So
Yeah, see, look here.
So inshallah, this is just gonna be today.
This is where you cut off. Yeah, inshallah today. It was right before you started.
Even before I even read that, I think
Before you even.
Alright, so let's start over again. وعن عبد الله بن عمر رضي الله عنهما قال رجل في غزوة تبوك في مجلس يوما ما رأيت مثل قرائنا هؤلاء لا أرقب بطونا ولا أكذب ألسنة ولا أجبن عند اللقاء فقال رجل في المجلس كذبت ولكنك منافق لأخبرن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم فبلغ ذلك النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم ونزل القرآن قال عبد الله فأنا رأيته متعلقا بحقب ناقة رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم تنكبه الحجارة وهو يقول يا رسول الله إنما كنا نخوض ونلعب ورسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم يقول أبالله وآياته ورسوله كنتم تستهزئون. Like I said, that's where the hadith ends, but we know that the end of the ayat is وَلَا تَعْتَذِرُوا قَالَ كَفَارَةٌ بَعْدِ إِيمَانِكُم. So this hadith أخرجه ابن أبي حاتم وابن جرير بإسناد صحيح. So it's in the tafsir of Ibn Jarir with the chain of narration that is authentic. So here Abdullah ibn Umar radiallahu anhu, he said that a man, he was during the time of Ghazwat Tabuk, they were in a majlis, they were in a sitting, a gathering with each other. And a person was talking, he said, and he was talking about the Sahaba. So he said, مَا رَأَيْتُ مِثْلَ قُرَّائِنَا هَؤُلَاءِ. And we said this on mute, that the Qurra, it refers to the people that recite the Quran, but here he's talking about the Sahaba, the companions, the people around the Prophet ﷺ, the closest companions to the Messenger ﷺ. So he said, I've not seen like the likes of these Qurra'ina, these companions of ours. He said, La araghabu batunan. Now keep in mind, he's talking about the Sahaba. He's a hypocrite, right? He said that they have the biggest stomachs from amongst us, meaning that they eat the most, that they eat the best of foods. He said, Wala akdaba alsina. And he said that they have the most lying of tongues. Wala ashbana inda liqa. Now, of course, if I were to tell people that this was not a munafiq in the time of the Prophet, they would think that this is the Rafidah saying this stuff, right? He said, Wala ashbana inda liqa. And he said that and they're the most cowardly when it comes time to meet the enemy. Now, this is what the guy is saying about the Sahaba. And then one of the companions that was in the majlis, he heard him saying this. فقال رجل في المجلس. So the man said, كذبت. He said, you're a liar. ولكنك منافق, but you're a hypocrite. لأخبرن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. I'm going to inform the Messenger of Allah صلى الله عليه وسلم. So فبلغ النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم. So he went to the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم. We keep getting distracted because there's all this fireworks show going on outside. Not a show, but there's a lot of fireworks going on outside. He says, so he reached the Prophet ﷺ at the same time when Nazal al-Quran and the revelation came down and informed the messenger before he told him. He said, Qala Abdullah. So Abdullah, now the narrator of the hadith, Abdullah ibn Umar, he said, فَأَنَا رَأَيْتُهُ. And he's talking about Ra'aytuhu. Who is this referring to?
The person who said I was going to tell the Prophet?
No, the hypocrite. Alright, because he went to try to say, no, that's not what I meant. He said, فَأَنَا رَأَيْتُ مُتَعَلِّقًا بِحَقَبِ نَاقَةِ رَسُولِ اللَّهِ صَلَّى اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِ وسلم. Where they put the thing in the nose to control the camel. And it's got like this rope that they pull on it so they can make it go to the left or to the right. So he's hanging on to this. He's hanging on to this and he's trying to explain to the Prophet, no, I was joking. He said, تَنْكُبُهُ الْحِجَارَةِ, because the camel's moving, and as the camel's moving, it's kicking rocks up, and the rocks are hitting his legs and blooding up his legs as he's trying to walk along with the camel, trying to and give his excuse for what he was doing. But the revelation had already been sent down. He said, "Well, who yaqulu ya Rasulullah? Oh, Messenger of Allah." Now look at him now. Oh, Messenger of Allah. But here, in the time that he was in the sitting, what was he saying?
Making fun of him.
Yeah, these people. And of course, if he's talking about the companions, if you insult a person's companions, who are you ultimately insulting?
Him.
The person. Because these are the people that he has around him. So if these are the people that he has around him, then what does that say about him? So it's an insult to him also. But now, oh, Messenger of Allah, إِنَّمَا كُنَّا نَخُوضُ وَنَلْعَبُ. Oh, we were just joking, you know, and then other narrations that we were just like, you know, doing the talking of people that, you know, that while they're traveling, they just, you know, they joke around and they just, you know, they just talk useless speech, you know. He said that's all we were doing. We didn't mean anything by it. And then the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Abillahi wa ayatihi wa rasulihi kuntum tastahzi'un." You know, was it with Allah and His signs and His message?
A movie and watching the fireworks
Movies are haram.
at the same time.
You know movies are haram, right?
No.
Well, now I'm gonna inform you.
Yeah, it's haram.
Go watch the fireworks, not the movies.
I mean, it's both.
So he said, by Allah, you know, it was with Allah, with His signs and with His messenger that you were laughing at, that you were joking about, that you were making a mockery of. And of course, like I said, that's the end of the hadith. But in the ayat, la ta'tadiru, don't make any excuses today. قَدْ كَفَرْتُمْ بَعْدَ إِيمَانِكُمْ. So here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He made what? He made takfir of them for doing what?
Making fun.
For making fun of them, from laughing at them, for making a mockery of them, because they represented the deen. And this is a mockery of the deen. It's not making a mockery of a person based on his physical appearance. They were making a mockery of them as believers. You know, so this goes back to the issue that we're going to talk about today, inshallah, which is the issue of joking and laughing about, you know, for example, you see a person who's trying to be on the, you know, practice the sunnah. You know, he raises his pants up because the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Ma asfala min al-ka'b, fahuwa fi nar." So what? Yeah. Yeah, so he said, you know, so whatever is below the ankles is what? In the fire. You know, which shows that it's from the major sins. So this person, he cuts his pants or cuts his thobe to bring his thobe up above his ankles, and the people, they laugh at him. Say, "Ha, what's up with your pants? Well, you know, what's up with this?" Because now it becomes a new style. You know, even when I was in Saudi, it was a style to have your thobe all the way down to the ground. This is the fashion. So if you were one of those people that walked into the masjid and your thobe was up above your ankles, the people that looked at you like you're weird. You know, look at these guys, you know, and they used to call them jammies.
Jammies?
Jammies from Muhammad Aman al-Jami.
Oh.
You lived in Saudi. Because you're laughing, so you know it.
I know the name they call jammies.
Yeah. It's like now the newer generation says madkhalis, but the older Saudis, they refer to Muhammad Aman al-Jami, which is a sheikh, a big sheikh, who was, mashallah, he was very, 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 very hard on the mushrikeen. You know, he's like his dawah to Tawheed. And mashallah, he has some of the most beneficial durus in the Tahawiyah, at Tadmuriyah, and his durus in Asma' wa Sifat are excellent to listen to the benefit. You can find them on the internet. They're old, you know, they're all taken from tapes. As he's old, you know, from old school. And he's, you know, back in the days of Sheikh al-Abadi and all them. So that's what they do, to like make a mockery of the people, like look at them. And then they forget that this is the behavior of who? Go far. And then you get the Muslim women who want to dress appropriate. They want to cover themselves up. They want to wear the niqab, or they, you know, and or they even want to just go full-fledged jilbab, like they were commanded, you know, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَمِن جَلَابِ بِهِنْ, right? Which the jilbab, which is the appropriate dress of the woman, is covers from the top of the head to the bottom of the feet. So then what do they want?
Kids YouTube.
What?
Kids YouTube.
Can kids watch YouTube?
Kids YouTube.
You want me to kiss you too?
No. Can kids watch YouTube?
Not that stupid stuff y'all watch.
Kids YouTube. It's kids and YouTube.
Obama,
Here we go.
go watch the firecrackers.
I want to watch kids YouTube. Every time, yeah.
They got all this stuff happening in front of them. They want to watch YouTube. Oh, look at this, man. This is boom, 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 boom. You look any direction and all you see is fireworks, but they want to watch YouTube. So it's the same thing. Oh, look at the ninja woman walking down the street, and oh, she looks like a big bag or something like that if she's completely covered, and all this type of foolish type of stuff. You know, the people don't understand that these people were taken out of Islam for making this mockery. Don't make any excuse today. You disbelieved after you accepted Islam, after you accepted the truth, and now you're making fun of the deen. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He also said in a different ayah, He said, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, لا يسخر قوم من قوم عسى أن يكونوا خيرا منهم ولا نساء من نساء عسى أن يكون خيرا منهن ولا تلمزوا أنفسكم ولا تنابزوا بالألقاب بئس الاسم فسوق بعد الإيمان ومن لم يتوب فأولئك هم الظالمون. So here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Quran, oh you who believe, لا يسخر قوم من قوم, like one group of people should not make fun of what? Another group of people. Because it could be that the people that you're making fun of are better than the people who are doing what? Are the ones that are making fun of the people. He said, وَلَا نِسَاءٌ مِّن نِسَاءٍ. And he said, and not a group of women to make fun of another group of women. عَسَىٰ أَن يَكُنَّ خَيْرًا مِّنْهُنْ. You know, that it could be that these women are better than the ones making fun of the women. He said after that, he said, وَلَا تَلْمِزُوا أَنفُسَكُمْ وَلَا تَنَابَزُوا بِالْأَلْقَابِ. And تَلْمِزُوا أَنفُسَكُم means what?
Don't make fun of your own self. Like, don't make fun of yourself.
And don't وَلَا تَنَابَزُوا بِالْأَلْقَابِ. And don't make these disrespectful nicknames up for people. You know, like making fun of them. And you know, just like what the kuffar do. You know.
Oh, it's big head came in the room.
Huh?
Like, oh, big head came in the room.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah, it's like that. So he said, بِئْسَ الْإِسْمُ الْفُسُوقُ بَعْدَ الْإِيمَانِ. Well, the worst name that you could call, that means after the person's entered into Islam. And Allah has given them dignity and honor in Islam and Tawheed, and you're trying to take that away from them by making a mockery of them and making fun of them. You know, if you don't want to be one of those people who obeys Allah and His Messenger, that's fine. Don't be. Do whatever you want to do. If you want to take the path of the hellfire, take it. But don't speak about the believers. Don't speak about the people that are trying to do that. He said, وَمَنْ لَمْ يَتُوبْ. And whoever doesn't make tawbah, doesn't repent from that, فَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الظَّالِمُونَ. And he said, those are the real oppressors. And we know what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does with the oppressors. And just like the ayat, and there's a reason why I read Surah Al-Mutaffifin in Maghrib to prepare for this issue, because in the last part where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, إِنَّ الَّذِينَ أَجْرَمُوا كَانُوا مِنَ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا يَضْحَكُونَ وَإِذَا مَرُّوا بِهِمْ يَتَغَامَزُونَ وَإِذَا انقلبوا إِلَى أَهْلِهِمْ انقلبوا فَكِهِينَ وَإِذَا رَأَوْهُمْ قالوا إن هؤلاء لضالون وما أرسلوا عليهم حافظين فاليوم الذين آمنوا من الكفار يضحكون على الأرائك ينظرون هل ثوب الكفار ما كانوا يفعلون. So here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, إن الذين أجرموا. So what did He call them?
Those who
He said,
crime.
Yeah, He committed a crime. He said He calls them criminals. Call them criminals. And so here the people that are making a mockery and making fun of the believers, He called them criminals. He said, إِنَّ الَّذِينَ أَجْرَمُوا كَانُوا مِنَ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا يَضْحَكُونَ. He said that the criminals, those that committed those crimes and committed the oppression, they used to sit there and they used to laugh at the believers. وَإِذَا مَرُّوا بِهِمْ يَتَغَامَزُونَ. And if the believers would have passed by them, يَتَغَامَزُونَ. What does يَتَغَامَزُونَ mean? They do like this, like, look at them, you know, or with their hands, you know, they're making fun of them either with their eyes, pointing with their, like moving with their eyes or with their hands, like to show, like, you know, look at this guy over here, like he's making a mockery of them. He said, وَإِذَا انْقَلَبُوا إِلَى أَهْلِهِمْ. And when they go back to their families, انْقَلَبُوا فَكِهِينَ. They go back proud of, like, you know, what they've done, you know, because they've gone out and they made fun of the believers, you know, because they really feel like they're on something. And the believers are the masakin that don't know what they're doing. He said, وَإِذَا رَأَوْهُمْ قَالُوا. And whenever they see them, they say, إِنَّ هَؤُلَاءِ لَضَالُونَ. So whenever they see the believers, what do they say? Oh, these are the misguided people. You know, they think that they're the misguided people because they rejected these guys and what their fathers used to do. They rejected their customs and... Who's here?
A new person.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah. I thought it was Ashab al-Jidar.
No. MashaAllah.
Wa alaikum salam.
Salaam.
So he said, he said, إِذَا رَأَوْهُمْ قَالُوا إِنَّ هَؤُلَاءِ لَضَالُّونَ. Why? Because they've accepted the deen. They've rejected what the taqaleed and all the stuff that they used to be on before.
صاحب الجداء.
We're just talking about you. وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
صاحبان. يا الحال.
Then after that, he said, وَمَا أُرْسِلُوا عَلَيْهِمْ حَافِظِينَ. And they weren't sent as protectors over them. So Allah is the protectors of the believers. He's the protector of the believers, not these people. So who cares about what they say? They weren't sent as hafideen, as protectors, and they weren't sent as muhasibeen to take account of them. That's Allah is going to protect them and take account of them. And take account of these people for what they're doing. He said, فَالْيَوْمَ الَّذِينَ آمِنُوا مِنَ الْكُفَّارِ يَضْحَكُونَ. And he said, on this day, that the believers will be laughing at these kuffar. They'll be laughing at them. So here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala called them what? Kuffar. Where in the first part he said, إِنَّ الَّذِينَ أَجْرَمُوا. So he did not specify that these were from the mushrikeen or anybody. But here he said, فَالْيَوْمَ الَّذِينَ آمِنُوا مِنَ الْكُفَّارِ يَضْحَكُونَ. Because anybody that makes a mockery of this deen and makes a mockery of the believers and what they're trying to be on this deen, and they're from the kuffar. يَضْحَكُونَ. And he said that they'll be laughing at them. عَلَى الْأَرَائِكِ. What does ara'ik here mean?
Couches.
Like raised high couches. Yeah, they'll be up on these raised high couches, يَنْظُرُونَ. They're just looking down at these people suffering. Laughing at them like, like look at you now. Look at you now. You used to laugh at us and we used to be patient, but now look at you now. So subhanAllah. He said, هَلْ ثُوِّبَ الْكُفَّارُ مَا كَانُوا يَفْعَلُونَ. Did they get any just recompense for all the stuff that they used to do? So, if you look, this type of behavior of making fun of the believers, like, when they're trying to be on the deen, stemming from a Muslim, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. And if the person is ignorant, then, take the advice and take the message and understand that this is not permissible. The person's not ignorant, and you're in some major damage. Major danger, not damage. Like you're doing major damage to yourself.
Just to clarify for everyone, so if someone makes fun of someone, let's say he's growing a beard, but he's not making fun of the sunnah, he's just making fun of that individual, that's not kufr, but it's a major sin, and he also falls under
he needs to be taught. Like if he doesn't understand that the beard is wajib, or like for example he's making fun of your pants being up high or your throat being up high, and he doesn't understand that this is, he doesn't know the hadith, you teach him, you sit down and explain it to him. No, that wouldn't take him out of the religion, because again it goes back to the urla bijah. وَمَا كُنَّا مُعَذِّبِينَ حَتَّى نَبْعَثَ رَسُولًا. So we're not going to punish the people until a messenger is sent to them. So the message has to be sent to the person. The message has to be established. Once you've established the hujjah, and the person continues now making fun of the person or making fun of a mockery, then that person leaves Islam. That's a whole different issue. But you sit down and you give them advice first and explain to them that this is, show them the hadith, that this is not right.
So making fun of an individual for himself, he falls under the promise of Allah, وَيْلٌ لِكُلِّ هُمَزَةٍ لُمَزَةٍ. And if he makes fun of someone's religion, because it is from the religion, he's a kafir. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
He makes fun of it because here, he makes fun of the religion. Yeah, because the Prophet here, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, لَا تَعْتَذِرُوا. Like, you have no excuse today. None. There's no excuse that you can make. That you disbelieved after your iman, because they were making fun of the companions of the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So that's a whole different issue. But making fun of like one of us, no, that wouldn't take him out of this until you sit down and you establish the hujjah. And you let him know, like, no, this is from the deen, and you're making fun of the deen. We're trying to emulate what the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam was upon, and you're making fun of that. And you claim that you love the Prophet. What type of love is that, Afi? I love my father, and I go and sit there and make a mockery of him. So if you love the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that love cannot be coming making fun of somebody that's trying to take on his characteristic and his behavior. The people of the Sunnah. All right. Those are fireworks. Those are fireworks mixed with other fireworks. And that's why I told the kids, y'all get it, you know.
Yeah.
Still, yeah, alhamdulillah. It's not like Florida, man. Florida, whew. Florida, you be hearing like, like in Jacksonville, you be hearing like AR-15 shotguns and everything shooting off right now with the fireworks, but you can clearly tell the difference. All right, so that's the issue, right? And the issue also is advice for the people, the Muslims, because obviously, you know, it's a difficult thing when you're receiving this type of mockery, and especially when it's from people that are close to you. It becomes very, very difficult. And of course, I mean, but you know, abshiru. You're following the path of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. You know, what did you think that his family greeted him with open arms? Yeah, they laughed at him, they joked at him, they called him Kahin, they called him Sahir, they called him Kaddab, they called him Sha'ir, or they called him all these different names, and they used to make fun of him. They used to, you know, these ayat were sent down because of what they used to do to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam's companions, to show that this behavior is not going to be, you know, this is going to be what they're going to, you know, it's going to happen to them on the day of judgment. So you're just following in the path that they followed in. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said about the Prophet, He said, وَلَقَدْ نَعْلَمُ أَنَّكَ يَضِيقُ صَدْرُكَ بِمَا يَقُولُونَ. So that your chest is becoming, you know, يَضِيقُ صَدْرُكَ, because you become sad and you become, it hurts you when the people are like sitting here saying these things about you. But then this is the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So of course, us, what do you think is going to happen to us? People making fun of us, people laughing at us, people calling us, oh, look at you look like a terrorist, you look like, you know, this, and you know, and what's for what? What's the benefit? So, of course, it's going to, yaliku sadruk. But follow the advice that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave to the Prophet after that. What did he say? He said, فَصَبِّحْ بِحَمْدِ رَبِّكَ وَكُنْ مَعَ سَاجِدِينَ مِنَ السَّاجِدِينَ وَاعْبُدْ رَبَّكَ حَتَّى يَأْتِيَكَ الْيَقِينَ. He said, you know, then glorify. I don't like to use that terminology, glorify, but I'm going to use it now just to be swift, instead of going through the whole meaning of a tasbih, because we've already gone over this. But you know, to glorify your Lord with His praise, right? And with the praise of your Lord. وَكُنْ مِنَ السَّاجِدِينَ, and be from amongst the people that are continuing in ibadah, to continue on worshiping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and be from...
If I didn't see it, I thought I would have said that.
And وَكُنْ مِنَ السَّاجِدِينَ, and be amongst the people who prostrate to their Lord. And the sajideen here is not just sujood, like the act of sujood, but what? The ones that surrender themselves to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because as you prostrate to Allah, you know, that's complete surrendering yourself. So كُنْ مِنَ السَّاجِدِينَ وَاعْبُدْ رَبَّكَ حَتَّى يَأْتِيَكَ الْيَقِينَ. And worship your Lord until the yaqeen comes to you. And what is yaqeen? Is death, until maut. So continue worshiping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala until death comes to you. And keep your head up. I don't want to sound like some stupid Tupac song from the 1990s, but I'm just saying, don't let these people see you, you know, with your head down and sad. You know, you keep moving. You keep it moving. I mean, because you got more, you know, the people are not what you're not put here to please them, and you're not going to please them. The only way that you can please them is to do what? You have to be like them. Leave off the deen and go and act like them, and you know, and be like them. That's the only way that they'll be pleased. What do لو تكفروا كما كفروا فتكونون سواء. So I mean, this is what they love. They love that you disbelieve and that you do what they do, and that you fall into the sins that they fall into, so you can be the same. You know, this is all that they hope for. This is all that they wish for. But you don't fall into that type of stuff. You keep it moving, you know, because you're not here to please the people. You're here to please Allah, and life is short. You know, so just take that advice that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave to the messenger. Continue with the tasbih, the dhikr of Allah, and be with the sajideen, be with the people of ibadah. وَاصْبِرَ نَفْسَكَ مَعَ الَّذِينَ يَدْعُونَ رَبَّهُمْ بِالْغَدَاةِ وَالْعَشِيِّ يُرِيدُونَ وَجْهَهُ وَلَا تَعْدُ عَيْنَاكَ عَنْهُمْ تُرِيدُ زِينَةَ الْحَيَاةِ الدُّنْيَا وَلَا تُطِعْ مَنْ أَغْفَلْنَا قَلْبَهُ عَنْ ذِكْرِنَا وَاتَّبَعَ هَوَاهُ وَكَانَ أَمْرُهُ فُرُطًا. So here, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said to the Prophet, He said, you know, keep yourself patient with the people that are calling on the Lord in the early part of the day, in the early part of the evening. You really don't know what's happening. All they want, all they're seeking by their acts, through their actions, the face of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this is ikhlas. Be with the mukhlisin. Be with the people of the deen. He said after that, he said, وَلَا تُطِعْ مَنْ أَغْفَلْنَا. Don't obey the person. And obedience to this person can be sitting down trying to be friendly with this person, trying to get this person to be friends, or, like trying to, earn companionship with this person or try to be around this person. Don't be around the people that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made their hearts heedless of the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They're laughing at the people of the deen because of what? They're ghafla in their heart. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has sealed up their hearts and put there nothing but ghafla, nothing but heedlessness in their hearts. So now they're doing what they're doing. And then you see that these persons, and what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, however, these are people what? They follow their desires. What kind of amruhu? Furata. What do we say that the meaning of kind of amruhu furata means?
An error. No?
Yeah.
An error, yeah, like you said, like it's bound to fail.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, if you yeah.
Not akhta. You said an error.
No, like in English, it could mean like it's bound to failure.
No, error means it's a ghalat.
Oh. No, it doesn't mean like the English meaning.
No, I'm talking about English. English error means a mistake.
Not a progression. Not growing up here. Not growing up.
Not at the restaurant. I'm sorry. I don't know the language of the restaurant. Error.
I meant like not.
Error means a mistake. You committed an error. You committed a mistake. But it means like it comes like all that they work for and all the dunya that they go after, it comes to naught. They get nothing. All of their, they're gonna.
That was guns.
No. There's guns mixed in with all of that. Yeah, that's what they're going to do. They're going to shoot the fireworks from the guns in the middle.
Bullets.
That's why I told the kids to get on the balcony. So just don't stay out in the open because those bullets come down. I remember that. Were you there when Haga Abdul Saleh came on TV in Yemen? You were in Sana'a. Oh, have you ever seen anything like that in your entire life? You remember when he got burned, right? When he got hit by the rocket. Right by my house, man. I came out of Juma that day, I saw it. They said, because I lived on Beinoun, but at the top of, not Beinoun at this time. You know what Jamal Khair is? I live right next to Jamal Khair on the Sahila, right at the Riyasa, Dara Riyasa. So, yeah, and then when the rocket came down, it was right after Salat al-Jum'ah, they sent the rocket down on the palace, and my neighbor was on the top of the house. He said, oh my God, the presidential palace is on fire and all this stuff. So he got burned up, but you remember when he came on television in Sardinia, right? And remember when all the people went out and started shooting? Shoot, boy, that looked like Star Wars or something, man.
We do that all the time, even if the soccer team wins.
No, but that was like everybody at Sana'a. I was like, one of those times, there was one time that he talked, that when I was at home. But like 12 o'clock, like long after they stopped, I'm in my mezlis, I'm in the living room sitting down reading, and I hear ting, 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 like the bullets landing in the mezlis. My neighbor, one of the bullets went right through, like his wife was sitting in the back seat, and she said, I don't want to sit here. And he said, all right, come up to the front. She went up to the front seat, and the bullet went right where she was sitting. He showed me the next day. Yeah, it was like more than, I want to say 26, but it's like 60, 70 people got killed that night. Yeah, because the bullets, because everybody goes out just standing outside.
If you go out of the street, you see.
I think one of them hit the window where I was at. I went to go look out the window, and I just heard, shoot! I'm like, what the? Like, that's too close if you can hear that sound. I only hear that in movies or something, and it like hit over on the window, on the metal part of the window, and then I was like, nah,
Yeah. So would it be haram to just take out a gun and just shoot like that way, boom, because I have a risk of killing someone?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because one, it's rough. Those bullets are expensive in Yemen, but they still shooting like crazy. And that time the bullets.
You will kill someone. You will kill someone if you shoot.
Yeah. Because you don't know. Imagine this, like, you go and you shoot a bullet, you go shoot a gun outside. You kill somebody over in 10 neighborhoods over you don't even know about until the day of judgment. You come up on the day of judgment and this person's like, you killed me. I'm like, what? You know what I'm saying? Like, imagine that. Is that even worth it? I think because at least if you know it's an accident, you could pay the dia. I mean, you still got to answer for that person's blood on the day of judgment, regardless, whether you know or you don't know. But just imagine, like you don't even know, so you can't even make tova for it. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't even know you did it. You know, so that's crazy. Actually, that's not even worth it. It's not even worth it. Go, light some M80s or something, and celebrate like that. But as far as shooting guns, no. And they're not just shooting guns. Actually, one time I was on the bus.
A bomb, come on.
And they shot, those armored cars for the military?
Yep.
Big one.
But the ones where the barrel of the gun goes from here down to the end of that post. So we were on the bus next to the armored car. This was during the revolution, and they were shooting down the street. And then down 16. They were shooting actually up 16, because the protesters or whatever they were. So we're next to this thing, and there's a boom like this, right? The bus, I kid you not, it went like this. The bus, from the power of that gun, the bus went like this, and we were like, whoa, like the ears, because that, like you could just, even the car itself, the armored car just shot back when he fired that thing, man. I'm like, wow, give me a hold, man.
Bullets like that.
Yeah, about the size of your forearm, man. It's crazy. You missed all this stuff sitting in Fresno.
Alhamdulillah.
All right, any questions?
When was this?
2011.
Oh yeah. Fresno, I was in Hampton.
Yeah, we were in California.
Okay, so the first one. From Iron Mike. Ustad, is it permissible to celebrate, partake, or look at fireworks during 4th of July?
Celebrate it? No. Partake in the celebration? No. You can't help but to look at it because it's all over the place.
This one says, okay. Wow. I think you're gonna give a lecture for
Because
this.
if we're like looking, you can see it from every single window of the masjid right now. So.
Is it kufr to believe in diseases that are spread by contact?
I won't say it's kufr. No, it's not kufr.
Someone in the group chat, he responded, he said, what? How? Isn't there a hadith about this? Don't flee from a land with the plague and don't enter a land with the plague?
Yeah, but the Prophet also said, sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, la adwa. Look the hadith up. Which means that, the same one that, because you're talking about a land where the plague is at, and he's talking about to believe that the sickness itself, this is the i'tiqad.
What's the hadith?
La adwa.
La adawa?
Ayn dal waw adwa.
Wala tiyya? Guess whose website? Okay.
Sheikh bin Baz. So it's Ayn dal waw. لا عدوى ولا طير ولا صفر ولا هام. فقال أعرابي ما بال الإبل تكون في الرمل كأنها ضباء فيخالطها البعير الأجرب. So this ibl, al-ajrab, that means like a mangy, like the camel that has the mange. And then this camel mixes with this camel, with the mange, and then all of a sudden he gets the mange. He said, قال فمن أعد الأول. He said, who gave it to the first one? Allah. So Allah tested the first one with it, and He'll test the second one, because it's not every single person that sits even in the area of the plague is going to get the plague. It's going to get sick. Some people get it, some people don't. Some people die, some people recover. So, I never, the whole time for COVID, I never tested positive for any of this garbage. I never, I'm not going to talk about this on YouTube anyways, because it get the whole channel shut down. But, but I'm saying, it's like, so what? I was working, going out, doing all types of stuff through the whole time. I wasn't sitting at home at all. So, and then when I came back to America, I was in Florida, man. That stuff didn't even, people weren't wearing masks or nothing. So, don't sit here and fear these diseases. Allah gave it to this person, Allah give it to you, Allah will spare you. That's it. It comes from Allah. It doesn't come from, these tests and trials and tribulations. Allah testing the people. But as far as the aqidah, to sit there and say like, oh, I got this sickness from this person. Yeah, aqidah talking about, you got, oh, that person gave you the sickness, he gave it to you. No, he doesn't have that type of authority. So he's talking about the issue as far as the aqidah, where you believe that these sicknesses originate from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he writes. And that came in the hadith of Abdullah ibn Abbas. What's the hadith?
The one you always quote. Oh, أعلم لو أنكم اجتمع عليه. That one, yeah.
Yeah, وَلَوْ اجْتَمَعَتْ عَلَىٰ أَنْ يَضُرُّوكَ بِشَيْءٍ لَمْ يَضُرُّوكَ إِلَّا بِشَيْءٍ قَدْ كَتَبَهُ اللَّهُ عَلَيْكَ. And if all the people were to come together to bring harm to you in something, they'll never be able to bring harm to you except for something that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has written it before you. So,
Also, at the same time, you have to be careful and,
I mean, you protect yourself. Hey, you protect yourself, yeah, but, especially like when these kuffar try to scare everybody and all this. Yeah, man, they do this for money. There's business involved in this. It's business. So, I mean, you make dua and you return to Allah.
This one says,
He's the only one that can protect you from that.
this one says, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, tahiyyatun wa salam, tahiyyatun wa salamun min al-Yemen.
We got the Yemenis here, so.
This question's all in Arabic, so.
You from Yemen too? Where are you from?
Jubal.
Where's that?
It's like near Baghdad, like 1 hour away from Baghdad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's
Yeah, 2
iffy.
hours away from Baghdad.
He's an iffy. You're from up too, right or no?
I'm from Baghdad.
You're from Baghdad. huh?
Baghdad, yeah, I'm like close to you.
You know the place where he's from?
I heard about it, but
Yeah, that's the first time I heard this from you. I know Baghdad. I know. I think everybody in Yemen knows Baghdad, except for this guy.
You didn't know. No, ask, I don't know. I know Ibn, because my mom's from Ibn. This one says, أحد الإخوة, because this is all, it's all in Arabic, so.
He's in Yemen. You should go ask the Sheikh. Ask him before.
Maybe he's in Sana'a or something. This is أحد الإخوة اليمنيين سافر والده من السعودية إلى أمريكا.
I didn't hear that one part because the fireworks. Go back. أحد الأخوة اليمنيين.
سافر ولده من السعودية إلى أمريكا للعمل. فسألته لماذا قال
فسألته.
فسألته. Sorry, it's so small. لماذا قال and then he quoted the ayah in Surah An-Nisa ومن يهاجر في سبيل الله يجد في الأرض مراغما كثيرا سعة ومن يخرج من بيته مهاجرا إلى الله ورسوله ثم يدرك الموت فقد وقع أجره إلى الله وكان الله غفورا رحيما. I don't know if it says وزكي قوانين تلك البلاد وقال إنها راقية.
وزكى.
No, وزكي.
I'm telling you Zakah.
Oh, no, okay, I'm just saying for how it is, because it says wow.
They put the 2 dots on the yeah, but it should be the Aleph Mansur. Zakah.
وزكى قوانين تلك البلاد
يعني
وقال
مدحهم.
because this is right here, that's why. قوانين تلك وزكى قوانين تلك البلاد وقال إنها راقية. ما قولكم بارك الله فيكم في قوله هذا؟
اتقي الله. Because he's like, that's, one of the conditions of La ilaha illallah is what?
لا معبود به.
But one of the conditions is the kufr b'taghut. I mean,
البراءة من الشرك وأهله.
yeah. So this is, and this system of government here is a taghut. So I mean, that's a part of the conditions of La ilaha illallah that this person hasn't fulfilled. You give him advice. That's my advice to you is give him advice. And obviously he doesn't fulfill the conditions of going to America in the first place. Number one, you should not go to the land of the kuffar except for, I'm sorry guys, but I gotta do this. But there's gotta be some type of durura. So you're going there, for example, like let's say that you come to America to study. Study what? Are you studying something that you can study in Yemen or study in Saudi or study in another Muslim country? Or are you trying to study something that doesn't exist, like a science that doesn't exist? So you come here and you try to study that science so you can go back and you can teach the people and they don't have to come to America to study that. But then, this was Sheikh Al-Uthaymeen was talking about this, but I don't even think that that time that Sheikh Al-Uthaymeen, he understood the situation of the universities in America. And honestly, I think if he understood the situations of the universities in America, he would never there's not even an issue of darura, where you would come here and study anything. But the conditions of even coming here for whatever purpose, even if you come here for dawah, is that you have to have enough knowledge to be able to do what? To repel those shubahat and the doubts and all the things that they come with. Obviously, this person doesn't have that. Doesn't fulfill that condition, so he shouldn't be here in the first place. It's not permissible for him to be here in the first place. So give him advice, try to remind him of who he is in Islam. That's those of them.
So you can be real life for work, all Yemenis come.
Majority come from work.
I mean, see, the thing about a lot of the Yemenis is the Yemenis, they don't have the intentions of staying here and dying here, and like a lot of the other, you see like a lot of other groups of people, like you see like the Egyptians, the Palestinians, they come here, the Indians, Pakistanis, and they're here, khalas, it's over. Yemenis are like, well, we're going to come here, we're going to work, we're going to send the money back to Yemen, build a big 5-6 story building, get a grocery store, get my kids working in the grocery store, what happened?
I'm sweating a lot.
No.
Fell on my nose when you went
No,
like
it's
that.
the water.
Oh.
No.
I was gonna say, wow.
I'll pick up the bottle and there's water, see?
Oh.
Because the ice is melting on the... So, anyway, and then they go back. Once they have enough money where because I used to always joke with the Yemenis in Yemen. I say, man, your goal in life is to do one thing. Your goal is to do nothing. To get to the point where you can do nothing and be comfortable enough to do nothing, right? That's the goal of almost every Yemeni. He wants to have a shop, he wants his kids running everything, and he does what? Just sit around and chill all day long. So, the Yemenis, they don't want to sit here and work until they're like 65 years old. So, but for the other people that they want to stay here, they want their kids to be here, their grandkids to be here. No, come on. This
As
is...
before, and they say if you can't practice your deen, you can't pray, you can't do everything.
I mean, the biggest aspect of our deen is what?
Tawheed.
As far as what we can practice, we have to practice out in the people, amongst the people.
Salah, Adhan.
Amar bil ma'ruf wa nahy anil munkar. Because if we don't have that, then we have nothing. And there's...
Where I'm from Dearborn, Michigan, it's all Arab, and like the Yemenis, they're losing their deen. And even though the whole community is Muslim and Arabic, they're slowly losing their deen. The women are taking off their niqab, and just like their previous generation, their mothers wear niqab, but their daughters don't.
Even
So like it's fitna. They don't want to go to school, and they're becoming just like Americans.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's right for us to stay.
I don't
I don't agree with that either.
I don't even me. I'm from America. Like about 11 generations in America. I don't feel like staying here. I don't want to be here. As soon as I get a chance to leave here, I don't want to die here. And I don't want my kids growing up here, like here's America. Y'all saw it? Class, let's go. Because you go to like where you're talking about like in Dearborn. It's Yemeni kids now listen to rap, now they're drug dealers, now they're smoking weed, now they're, wearing their pants down. Come on, dude, you never be acting like that if you grew up. For him to stay in Yemen, mukhazin, and it's way better than for him to come to America and because they're not praying, they don't care anything about the deen, most of the shabab nowadays. At least in Yemen, he'll be praying, like a good portion of the time. Obviously, he's probably going to be having friends he's running around with. He might not be the most, praying all the time, but he'll be praying, But here, there's nothing.
No, it's different. Now Yemen is not like before. It's worse. Now you get the aspect of Shia. Everything is different. Even
Go to Aden.
Yemen,
Go to Aden. Go to Hadramaut.
now
Well, it's not. It was 2 years. It may not be as easy to.
it is hard for people like from the Shamal to go over there.
There's pros and cons.
I'm looking at it from my perspective, but your perspective of coming from the north of Yemen, the Adenese, not exactly
No,
welcome.
most of them, you're gonna get trouble.
Yeah, get out of here, Dabashi, and go back to the north.
If it's gonna stop like that, it's normal.
Yeah.
We used to. But now it's getting worse and worse.
Yeah.
Some people, they just get killed because they,
Yeah, because of all this stuff going on, yeah. Yeah.
Even one of the brothers, he's an imam of a masjid in Oakland. He was telling me that one of the shabab, Yemeni, father's a Muslim, his mother's a Muslim, aunt's Muslim. That kid became an atheist, and the brother, he had to try so hard so he could bring him back to Islam. It shows that he went from being a Muslim to being an atheist.
Yeah, watch
It
it. I
doesn't
told
gotta
you.
be Yemen, it can be even a Muslim country. You don't have to go to Yemen. Yeah.
No, we're saying like in America, like the cons of being in, we're just
Oh, yeah.
exclusively.
I've seen the Yemeni kids go to America because they get that little scholarship to come and study in America for 1 year. 1 year, I think. And they go back to Yemen. It's like somebody took his brain out. Not his brain, his heart. Just ripped it right out of his body and just put a whole bunch of wasp, just filth into his heart and said, psh, now go back to Yemen. And that's why they tell you, you go to school in America and they put you in some place like Nebraska. They want you to be so far from Muslims, it's not even funny. They don't care what you do. You could be smoking weed, listening to music, girlfriends and everything. They don't want you to be Christian. They just don't want you to be what? Don't be practicing Islam. That's it. And then, what do they want you to do? It's a condition of this. You go there for 1 year, and it's a condition of the scholarship that you have to go back to Yemen for a year, and then you can go back and finish your high school in America. But they want you to go what? Go back.
Even when I was in New York, even though a Yemeni person my age, he grew up in Yemen. He came to America, and when I went to go get engaged to my ex-fiance, I told him, "Akhi, we're right next to a masjid. Let's go pray Asr right now." Wallahi, he told me. He said, like when he came to America, he said, "I'm gonna tell you the truth. I don't pray. I don't do something." Wallahi, he told me that. And I think
that's another thing about America. See, in Yemen, well, how Yemen used to be. I mean, like you said, Yemen's changing, but this is still in the hearts of the people. And if Yemen were to, all the fighting and the stupidity were to stop, the people still have this in them. In Yemen, if the deen doesn't get you, if you don't if somebody doesn't tell you yo, akhi, this is haram and that doesn't work, what does work is aib. Ya akhi, aib. He's scared of what the people are going to say about him. So that's why you see that the person will not say this type of stuff openly. In Yemen, you won't just run around, I don't pray, I don't do this, I don't do this. He keeps that really, really, really under wraps where his close friends know that type of stuff. But here, when they get to America, what happens? Well, that cloak of shame, of that feeling shame, is ripped off. He's like, I feel no shame anymore, and I don't have to. And that's another danger about being in this country, because you just do whatever you want, nobody's gonna say nothing. Because I told you about the story about the guy that his son went over and studied in America for 1 year. 1 year. He came back and was insulting his mother. So the father told him, he said, you got one more chance. You don't say anything to your mother again like that. And he didn't listen. He went up and insulted his mother. The father told him, he said, go out to the field. I need you to do some work for me. He went out to the field. The father grabbed the AK-47, and when the kid got out to the field, pow, killed him right out in the field, killed his son. He said, it's better that you die than sit here and disrespect your mother like that. He killed him. But this is because of what? 1 year in America. He came back insulting his family. He wouldn't pray. He wouldn't do anything. And the father just said, he couldn't take it no more. Just shot him.
Do you want the questions in order, or most important to least important?
Most important.
Well, this is just on the side.
I mean, plus you know the people that generally ask the questions the most. So
this is for the brother Abdul Qahar, because he has. No, I'm not 17. I'm 21. But okay. This one says, this is a good one. This one by Anonymous. Assalamu alaikum. Ahsanallahu ilaykum. If hadith scholars differed on a hadith, who do I follow? Ibn Hajar, Ibn Habban, Sheikh Muqbil, Sheikh Al-Albani, or go to Yemen with Hamza and become a muhaddith?
Go to Yemen with Hamza and become a muhaddith and make your own judgments. But I mean, you follow the scholar that you're the most comfortable following. You know, so that's it. If you feel comfortable following Sheikh Al-Albani, follow Sheikh Al-Albani. If you feel comfortable, I feel comfortable following, I studied in Damesh, so of course I'm going to feel comfortable with Sheikh Muqbil more than anybody else. It's not because that's what we study, but because I know why he does what he does. So I feel comfortable with that. You choose whoever you feel comfortable with.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam. It's about the battery.
Some people.
You know where the batteries are?
Over there. I lost the question. Wait, I lost the question. Some people say not all music haram. The hadith said silk is not haram for women, so all music is not haram. What kind of ijtihad is this?
No, that's not true. Music is haram. The silk is different. Silk is specific. It's a good thing that we see this now, and then not tomorrow. Because what happens tomorrow? Huh?
Regarding with the, I'm not sure, you remember that one time he gave a khutbah and the brother, he gave you the box of napkins, remember? Did that nullify his Jum'ah? Yeah. Okay. Because I didn't, because I was like, wait a minute, it's not right.
I mean, it didn't nullify his Jumu'ah. The Salat and everything's still valid. Still gets credit for Jumu'ah, but it nullifies the reward for it, like the forgiveness of the sins and everything. One of the conditions for the person getting all those sins forgiven from the Jumu'ah to the Jumu'ah is that he has to come in and remain silent and not move. So that nullifies that.
Is it halal to play chess?
Actually, that's a back and forth thing so much. Number one, if the chess pieces have the images of those animals like the horse and all that, then that's already haram. And number two, the issue of just wasting time. You know, wasting time. So I mean, that's an issue that's just, they've been going back and forth over and over and over and over again. Shaykh al-Islam Ibn Taymiyyah, if I'm not mistaken, is on the opinion that it's haram. I mean, you see how many people sit there and spend hours and hours and hours and hours playing this game, reading strategy about this game. Actually, go read a book. You know, you could be sitting here reading I'Lam Mockery, English, Ibn Qayyim, Zad al-Mu'adh, read Fath al-Bari. You know, what are you doing with the, I couldn't imagine sitting there just, and this is my life, akhi, just, and then the people sit there and say, oh, but you learn military strategy. Yeah, akhi, who was the best military strategist? And the Muslims, right? The Sahaba after him. They didn't play chess, akhi, they didn't learn
it was the biggest firework ever.
Ever. In all of mankind.
A biggest firework ever. Ever in my life.
Ever in your life.
Your life too.
I was in my life too.
Hey, you're gonna get. He's almost about to be in the camera.
No, everybody loves him.
Okay. Are you willing to answer a complex business question?
You can ask it. If I don't know, I don't know.
Suppose you make $4,000 a month.
No, this is the moon. So I need like a piece of paper to write all this down.
Well, we'll see. Inshallah, we have our brothers. They can
Go ahead. Suppose you make $4,000 a month.
You want to buy a house that costs $380,000. Some offers to finance it for you for 10 years, in parentheses, $3,000 and $3,166 a month. And another offers to finance it for you for 30 years, $1,055 a month. You have to pay them some amount for providing the service. Does the person who offers to finance it for you for the longer 30-year period deserve a higher pay, even if he doesn't, quote-unquote, deserve it?
Because that's a manfa'a. There's a manfa'a in this agreement. It's a benefit. He doesn't get nothing. If he's paying for the house, and the house costs $380,000, he pays $380,000, and you pay him back $380,000. If you pay him anything else or any type of money for, I don't know, that falls into the category of riba. So no.
That's riba.
Mm.
So there is some people, they said, if you pay cash for this stuff, I'll give it to you for $1,000. But if you wanna finance it like for 1 year, 2 years, or whatever, I'll sell it to you like for 2,000.
Yeah,
Is that same thing?
yeah, the same thing, yeah.
Riba?
Yeah.
What is this finance stuff? What does that mean?
So they said if you sell from Ajil and you pay more, it's not riba.
Finance is the same thing as like what? Just like paying it off in increments, right? That's what they're talking about, right?
No, I mean, they didn't give you a amount.
No, I'm saying the financing, when they say financing, they're talking about paying it off in
Pay
increments.
like payment, yeah.
Yeah.
I took business in high school, but I would just sign into this one Yemeni guy's account and copy and paste. And I
I mean, once he mentioned financing the house, you already.
No,
There's still more.
There's some people like they do that. Like I know they really good in Islam, but I don't know.
No, it's not.
Because they said I'll sell you this phone for $1,000, but if you wanna give me a payment for like 12 payments or 10 payments, I'll give it to you 1,200.
No,
There's still more. There's still more to the question. So after he said, I'm gonna repeat the last part so we know where we left off. Does the person who offers to finance it for you for the longer 30-year period deserve a higher pay, even if he doesn't quote unquote deserve it? How would capital
He
holders
doesn't deserve any pay.
be incentivized to longer term loans if you don't pay more? How else could you compensate them, and would this be riba?
I already answered the last question. You shouldn't be loaning money for compensation. This is exactly what causes all the problems in the society right now, is putting people into debt. Because when you put people into debt, it's like putting them into slavery. And we live in a society now that focuses on what? Okay, if you have zero debt in America today, what are you considered in society? Strange, like you're not weird, but strange, like you're a stranger, because of like the system that they have set up. You want to get a car, you go and you finance it. You want a house, mortgage. You want this, and then even after they own the house, they want to take out a loan. So what do? They put their house up and mortgage their house up for what? To get a loan. And then they end up having to pay back their house a second time. It's like with interest. They want to go to college, so they take out a loan, interest, and they spend probably the next 20 years trying to pay off college loans. This is the whole purpose of, of doing away with this, is because what? This is what it does to people. It destroys the society. It destroys the society. Now you got people that are more concerned with paying off their debt than they are with raising their children. They can't even give their children a lot of what the children need because they're too concerned with what? All the debt that they have to pay. And then they push their kids right into, as soon as the kids graduate high school, yalla, go take a college loan and get started yourself and get into debt, And then what happens now? The kids get out of college, they're 4 years, and all of a sudden now he decides he wants to be a lawyer. So now he's got to take out another debt for law school, another $150,000. Come on, man. It's like this is what Islam is done away with. If you loan money, you loan money. There's no interest. There's no, what type of benefit are you looking for? You're not loaning money to get benefit. This is what those people do. Those people.
Sheikh, how about if it's something that its value goes up? Like, for example, these days that, gas cars are some cars, they go up in value in time. So if they finance, they higher the price.
And that's another thing, because whenever you took the loan, you took it at the price of that day. With the value of the money at that day. Not 10 years from now. You bought the car that day with the price that day, and this is what they'll do. Oh, no, well, now there's this and now there's this. See how they keep changing the contract, and then there's putting more things on you, more. Once you sign those contracts of interest, akhi, you're cursed. You're cursed. Halas, there's nothing, there's nothing else to say about it. You're cursed, And then, you got nobody to blame but yourself.
I'll give you the phone. Actually, before this one.
You want to say something?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I mean, how about, for example, if they want to buy a car, and I know I can, like, the price for it right now is 40,000, let's say 40,000. And I can talk to the salesman and I can make it cheaper, but I told them I don't want it cheaper, but I just want a zero interest. Yeah, is that going to...
I mean, if you can get it on zero interest.
I get it for zero interest for 40,000, but if he give it to me with no zero interest, I know I can make it cheaper, like I can.
No, then he gave it to you with interest.
Yeah, I know, but is that good? Like, it's
No.
not about something.
No, because he gave it to you with interest. The thing is you got to read that contract when you sign that contract.
Zero interest.
It's zero interest with the increase in
I
price.
get my car for 30,000.
Yeah, but ask him, how much is the car with interest?
Zero interest.
No, I'm saying, if you bought the car with interest involved in it, what would the price of the car
It'll
be?
be like 36.
$36,000. So he added interest to it when he told you 40,000.
I did it. I got it for 30,000, but I know for sure.
Now, what I'm saying is they're going to tell you that there's zero interest and no more extra, but they've already added to the cost.
They didn't add.
No, he's
So
saying
the
if
price for the car is 30,000.
Mm.
The price 30,000. If they want to add the interest, it will be 37.
But if they don't want to add interest, it's 40.
No, it's 30.
Oh,
I'll
okay.
just give you example. Like,
Okay.
it's 30.
No, I mean, as long as there's
We
no
got that
price
one
in
to
it.
make it cheaper.
he's saying if he buys it like today, he'll make it cheaper instead of, doing payments. Like
Mm.
30,000 no interest, but he's saying I have cash right now, I'll give it to you for 28. He
Yeah,
says it's
28, 26.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
There's nothing wrong, that's just a negotiation,
There
there's
you
nothing wrong.
yeah, I mean, that's just bargaining, but as far as, you just gotta look at those contracts, man, to make sure you know what you're signing. Because what they say, a lot of the times, is what's on those papers, because the majority of the people, they do not read those contracts. They don't, and even the people that do read the contracts, they won't even understand them even if they read them. So you just gotta make sure that what you're signing, what he's saying and what you're signing are the same thing. Because that's not an easy thing to get caught up in.
This is
But
it.
if you sign, if you get late, the payment, you will pay interest.
But that's the contract of interest.
It's zero interest.
How about credit card?
But it's a zero interest as long as you're not late. But if you're late, they charge you interest.
That's everything. Because
But I'm saying, but that's a part of the contract.
see, the credit card now, it's
See, that's why when I signed alhamdulillah, because I'm renting a house from a Muslim. But that was the issue that we had, because he said, if you're late paying the rent, it's $100. I said, you can't charge me $100. If I'm late with the rent, because I have a reason for being late, I'm a Muslim, you're a Muslim. وَمَنْ يَسَّرَ عَلَى مُعْسِرٍ يَسَّرَهُ اللَّهُ يَسَّرَ اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِ فِي الدُّنْيَا وَالْآخِرَةِ. It's like, this is a whole different issue. Can't charge me $100 for being late, so we had to literally go through and wipe all that stuff out of the contract before we signed it. But you can't do that with the kuffar. You can't go up to the kafir and say, if I'm late, they charge you $100. How are you going to charge me $100 for being late? And not even knowing what the reason I'm late for. Maybe I lost my job. Maybe something happened and somebody had to go to the hospital and I had to pay for it. Maybe whatever. It's not. So these contracts, they have interest, but it's hidden. It's hidden. So how do you know that you're going to make all the payments on time for what? How many months? 36 months or something like that. 3 years, and you're going to make every single payment on time. If you already have the money to make the payment, see, for me, the safest bet is to do what? Just get a car of what you need for now. Like, if you need a car, just find something within the means of what you can pay for right now. And then that's it. Drive that, use that, and ask Allah to put, and Allah will put barakah in it because you're doing it in obedience to Allah. I remember one friend of mine, he had the most garbage car in the world. He drove that car for years and years and years because he was at every single salat in the masjid. Every salat in the masjid, he's driving that stupid white car to the, but that car ran for years, I think. You know, he probably paid, I think, like $250, $300, like $400 for the car. You know, cash, just like, you know, just like that. But that car, Allah put barakah in that car, and it ran for years. You know, and imagine all these people now paying all this other money with interest and all this, and look at all the expenses they end up with because of that car. Actually, no, man, just get something within your means. You know, pay cash for it. Or, you know, if we had, you know, see, we had this, the thing about it is we have a lot of Muslims that are involved in the car selling business. And if the Muslims would actually set it up in a way where, yes, there is zero interest for Muslims, and yes, if you have a valid excuse of why you're not paying on time, you know, that we're, you know, because all this charging extra and fines, and where is this from Islam? Where is this? I mean, people need to avoid that. I mean, here we have enough Muslims that, you know, we shouldn't even have to do that anyways. Kids are going to college, they shouldn't have to take a loan from a kuffar. Community lends them the money, and he pays it back. You know, pays it back when he gets out of college. You have like little college ones. First off, we shouldn't send our kids to these colleges, these are kuffar anyways. Send them to Sana'a University.
Mujahid online.
My son.
Yeah. This one says, I mean,
Mujahid's online because he wants to make sure that safe didn't destroy everything.
This one says, you keep losing the question because they keep commenting. Okay, here.
No, we're not taking too many more questions.
I skipped this one because, no, this one seems the most important. It says, what advice and tips can afford from you to this brother? He's contemplating suicide.
I don't know why he's contemplating suicide.
This is a question that arises from your Sleeping Knowledge class. It says, these are real. Okay. It says, what
But see, the thing about it is a lot of people contemplate suicide. They just want attention. They're just trying to get attention. The people that I knew that killed themselves, they didn't go around telling the people they were going to do it. They just did it. They just killed themselves. I mean, and I've known people that killed themselves, that properly killed themselves. My neighbor blew his head off in his bathroom, you know. And another girl I told you all about that, you know, swallowed all those pills when she was like 15 years old. She didn't tell nobody. She was one of those people like, oh, we would have never guessed. Yeah, you'd have never guessed, because that's a real person who's really thinking about killing himself. These people that run around talking about, oh, I can't take life anymore. You know, I'm really thinking about killing myself. They just want attention. They want attention. You know, I mean, I'm not saying that this person is like that, but I mean, that's generally what people are when they talk about it. The fact that you know about it, it shows that it's not as dangerous, you know. And then on top of that, the people that do actually really contemplate suicide, if you know what's going to happen to you when you die, you would not be contemplating that. That would not be the furthest thing from your mind. Furthest thing from your mind. If you knew what was going to happen to you after your death, you're not going to, you know, I wouldn't expect the angels of mercy to come down and take your soul, killing yourself. So, you know, trust me, nothing in this world worth that punishment. Nothing. Because as soon as you take your life, the first thing you're going to feel is regret.
I'll let you read this one because it's from the Yemeni brother, but it's from this comment and that. It's the only two comments in Arabic. I think scroll a little.
Inshallah. We'll speak about it one day, inshallah. Talking about hijrah. Speaking to them about moving to the west. Not just to the west. I mean, there would be a lot of kuffar.
It's already past 10. So.
Yeah, see, that's the whole point, man. You know, people when they go out, you got, you know, just like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said about the people. You know, minkum man yurid ad-dunya wa minkum man yurid al-akhirah. That's it. You know, from amongst the Muslims that what? They want the dunya, and there's those that want the akhirah. And those that want the akhirah, wallahi, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when they go out, they make hijrah for the sake of Allah. I mean, Allah opens it up for them. Opens it up for them. But then the people, they come here and they try to make hijrah. Before I left America, I met this Pakistani guy. He had this big scar across his throat, right? So I'm like, how you get this scar, man? You want to hear this story? Because, you know, you can see the scar because he doesn't have a beard, right? He worked at a liquor store, selling alcohol. One of those little, you know, Indian shops, right? Selling alcohol. The guy wanted to rob the store, and he jumped over the counter with a knife and slit his throat out. But the knife was sharp enough to slice, but not sharp enough to sever all the main arteries that killed him. But he's just got this huge scar going all the way across his throat, and he still does exactly what he's still the same mindset. And I'm like, dude, after that did not teach you a lesson about the dangers. And you see, Yemenis come here, sons get killed in the street, get shot up in the store, get robbed in the store. You know, this stuff gonna happen in Yemen. You see the type of stuff, like, look at the type of stuff I know you deal with every single day. Would you have to deal with 10% of that in Yemen if you had a store in Yemen? You have to deal with some stupid people, but in the West, you have to deal with stupidity that's on a level that's just, most of what you'd have to deal with in Yemen is people coming in thinking that they just want to buy it for free. You know, they want to, like, just haggle with you, you know, just try to get the price down, especially the halalis. If you get a whole bunch of halalim coming into your shop, then they want you to get the price, they want you to lose money. You know, they want to buy it for the cheapest price. That's it. That's about the extent of what you have to deal with. You know, unless you sell cotton. If you sell cotton, then maybe you have to deal with the killing and stuff like that. They got shooting at the cotton markets a lot. Like, that was the last bag of cotton. That's mine. No, it's mine. And the next thing you know, he's got the jambia out. You know, yeah, that happens. But you know, just stay away from the cotton market. But in America, I mean, subhanAllah, it's like, you know, it's dangerous. You know, you don't feel any type of you know, security here, no safety here, no matter what time of day it is anymore. You know, you're all like, every time that I go to the supermarket, my eyes are just looking all over the place, everywhere. You know, looking at every car, looking at every person, looking at everything, and it's stressful. I don't have to do that. Like when I lived in Sardinia, you walk out my house, the only thing I'm worried about is a car hitting me. Because you know the way they drive in Saudi, they drive like madmen, right? That's my only concern. But somebody coming up and robbing me, doing a drive-by shooting, you know, and all that, nah, you know, I mean, so, but the people come here still, with this mentality, like this is the, you know, American dream. Yeah, wallahi, Yemen, let's say pre-2011, you know, the time when Ali Abdullah Saleh was still the president, you couldn't ever get that type of life in Yemen here. No. The life there was so nice. Wallahi, I never wanted to come back. And then when the people were making that revolution, I'm like, y'all are stupid, boy. You're about to destroy this country now. You're about to destroy everything. All the good that we have in this country, you're about to destroy. Sure enough. I mean, meat was cheap, food was cheap, everything, man. You can go there, go to the people selling the khudrawat, tell them, give me, you know, whatever, like a shekel or whatever, you know, mia riyal, you know, 100 riyals Yemeni, not even $1, and you leave with a bag like this full of vegetables and go home, cook for like the next 3 days with those vegetables. You know, just life is so easy. You know, you can go out, like, if you live out in Hijaz, you know, they behind Mosque al-Sawad. What's that? Aratala, the village behind it. Behind Sawad. Aratala, right? You can go out there on Fridays and buy the vegetables straight out the ground, you know. The people, you go out there and you see the people all parked along the street behind the mosque, and, you know, you just go out there and just give them like 10 riyals, and they're pulling the stuff right out the ground after you've given it to you. You know, just subhanAllah, when we went to Madge, you know, because they grow the grapes inside there. You know, so when it's grape season, you know, we'd be out there like doing like I remember one time we were doing a lesson in Al-Bayquniya, me and a brother, and we're just going over Al-Bayquniya together. One of the women, she just came up and just dropped a whole, like a tin can, this big, full of grapes. So here you go. Man, we ate grapes so much, wallahi, I mean, I don't think we, like, the next week, all we spent it was in the bathroom. And so, you know, it's like, just the whole week is in the bathroom because of all those grapes, man. You know, like, there was at least, I don't know, like, that whole tin can full of just fresh grapes right off the tree, right off the vine. You know, no chemicals, no nothing. The best tasting grapes I've ever had in my life. You never have a life like that here. You could try. But, you know, and then on top of that, the security, you know, even with like Yemen, with all the guns and all that, I never felt like my life was like in danger. Like, because nobody's just going to come up and just kill you for no reason. You know, it's always going to be tribal thing or it's a fighting over land. So if you know that they're fighting over land, just get out the neighborhood. You know, don't be in an area where they're arguing over land because yeah, you might get shot. Well, other than that, collapse. But in America now, man, America, the life here is just, oof, man, oof. Oof, 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 oof. This is not my American dream. This is a nightmare.
How much questions do you want to take more?
One more, man.
Because someone asked.
Tomorrow's Friday, actually.
This is a question directed towards me, but it's not a question that's making fun of me. If I had a kunya, what would it be? I say, if I had a son, I would name him Abdullah. So, Abu Abdullah. Just trying to pick the most important one. Oh yeah, okay, so this was derived from your Seeking Knowledge class. What foods should unmarried shabab eat and what to avoid to control desires?
What foods should you eat and what foods should you avoid? That's like it's a double-edged sword, right? Because all the foods that strengthen your memory will get you in trouble. So raisins and ginger and things like that, they strengthen your memory and make your blood stronger, but you know, if you're single, they're gonna give you some problems too, so you gotta watch out, you know. If you wanna now that's ours. Ours is automatic. There's like fireworks, but there's like rifle in the background.
Elvis, I think, is already closed, already going to sleep. Because last year closed at this time, nothing. I was there.
No, we're on the west side, but you're gonna hear we're hearing some guns. But if you talk about like what to eat, not to have desires, eat Indomie every single day.
What?
Indomie. You eat Indomie every day, boy, that's it. That'll kill your desires, boy. You won't be able to do nothing. You won't be able to get out of bed every day if you eat that every day. But now, I mean, you gotta focus on your health, but just get a wife, man. Yeah. Because Indomie is also gonna destroy your memory. It's gonna destroy your memory.
This is the last one because
He's laughing because he knows Indomie, man. You don't know Indomie because you're a fake Yemeni, man. You're a Chinese version of Yemenis, huh? You know Indomie, right? What? He's American-born Yemeni.
Never heard of that.
He's the only one that laughs when I said eat Indomie every day.
Andumi?
Yeah.
Oh, Andumi, okay. Like ramen noodles.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Say that. Or fast.
Yeah, I know Indomie.
Oh, sure.
I don't know, this one deserves to be mentioned. It says like, what questions do you consider like questions should be asked, and like what are like outrageous questions that shouldn't be, like in the comments?
Is that the question?
It was from what I remember.
Outrageous.
Yeah, it says, can you give us a guideline to know if a question of ours would be of benefit or not?
Well, I mean, like that one person talking about what type of pillow should I sleep on. That's stupid.
And a toothbrush.
Well, yeah. And graphic questions, because obviously there's females, even if they don't have female names, but there might be females there, so any type of graphic questions. Like one guy got up in the...
It was the big firework ever.
Bigger than the last biggest firework ever.
Oh,
Yep.
watch out.
Yep, the red one. It It was a red one and a blue one.
Yeah, I know, we heard y'all screaming.
We was ducking because they was like coming, they was like close to the mattress, like across the
You know,
street.
Malik.
What?
Never mind.
Because we were ducking.
It says. This
Man, you got one more question, just ask it and let's go.
Okay, this is from the sister. It says, Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam wa rahmatullah.
What is considered a ziyada in salah? Is it only things that are already part of the salah, or does it include every statement or action? For example, I accidentally read the first few words of Ayat al-Kursi after the tashahhud. Should I ignore it or do sujood sahwi for ziyada?
She accidentally read.
The first words of Ayat al-Kursi and tashahhud. Should she, after she said the tashahhud, should she do sujood sahwi or no?
I don't know, because it's not an action. That happens. Sometimes when you're forgetful, you just, you know what I mean, you correct yourself. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك اشهد ان لا اله الا انت استغفرك واتوب اليك.
Oh, look who's back.